Hello everybody, my name is the Awesome Villager. Welcome back to another video. I hope you guys are all doing well. And today I am very excited actually, because we're going to be doing something I have wanted to do for a long time. So today is the start of a series on another game that I play in my free time called Call of War. In the game, you play as a country, you build up an army, you form alliances, you take over other countries. It's your kind of typical play as a world leader, take over the world kind of game. So, I personally find it very fun, and I thought it would be fun to try. So, now we have to find a match. So, this looks like a good one. So, we are going to be playing a 1939 historic war match. So the idea is that you play as a country in this, and you're given a small starter army, and it's your starter army, if you will. It's actually based off of the power of that country's army in, when that happened in, 1939. Sorry, I couldn't get my words straight. Right, I've always wanted to play as Argentina. I have played this game for nearly a year, and I haven't, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to do Argentina. Okay, so we are in. Right, so, as you can see, that yellow, that is us, and as you can see, here's the rest of the world and everything. So, there are obviously lots of countries here that maybe, existed in 1939, but not now. For example, the obvious, Soviet Union. And then we also have, like, Persia, we have, lots of others, and also, as you can see, in the cases of countries such as France and the UK, if you play as them, you also get their empires, because of course they had them at the time. So, first off, we need to start by greatly building up the military, because, I'm not going to lie, a lot of the South American countries that you play as do get quite weak starter armies. No offence, but it's... Oh dear, sorry, I almost built another aircraft factory. I've already got one here. So, in order to produce new units and build up your army, what you need to do is, in your city provinces, like these ones here, what you do is you construct unit production centres, if you will. For example, barracks. You can also construct like tank plants for tanks, naval bases if you have one by the sea for boats, so on, things like that. And then basically once they have finished on the construction, in turn you can then use them to produce new units to build up your army itself. So you can also, it's worth mentioning, you can also level up your pre-existing buildings in order to speed up unit production time. So we're going to be doing that. Right, so we'll build some barracks in the capital. Let's see. And then we are going to need lots of tanks and armoured cars for our conquests, that's for sure. So I'm building a lot of those. Now, we also need to find who we're going to take over first, because the entire point, as I said, is that you will take over other countries, you build like a massive empire, and you also form alliances. So we will probably also maybe volunteer for a coalition. So here are the coalitions, as you can see, and it's where you can basically join into an alliance with up to 3 countries, including yourself, and basically it allows you to pass troops through each other, without it being classed as, say, an invasion. It gives other people's troops the right of way through your country, so that's obviously very helpful. So I'm going to apply for this coalition with the USA, because you also want to try and get powerful allies, and the USA is quite powerful. So I'm hoping, with any luck, they'll accept me into their coalition, but only time will tell. So meanwhile, back to levelling up our own army. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to start to produce lots of units. So as you can see in Salta, for example, I have just got some infantry that's being produced that will be done in a few hours, I kid you not. Because in the game it actually takes real life amounts of time, if you will. For example, let's see, sorry. So for example, let's say that I wanted to produce a new infantry unit to add to my army. It would take about 3 hours to produce, sorry. And also, let's take another example. Let's say I wanted to move this destroyer division. Wait a minute. Oh, great! I've been accepted. That's really good. Sorry. So what will happen is, very quickly, is if you're part of a coalition, all coalitions have a flag, as you can see. There was the flag of America's coalition, and that means that I have officially been accepted. So now I have an ally in the US. So that's really good. Not even a minute in, really. Already got an ally. That's extremely good. But anyways, as I was saying, for example, let's say I wanted to move this cruiser division of mine to attack Liberia, which is all the way over here across the Atlantic. It would take nearly a day to arrive. So this series is also a good thing to say right now, right here, will probably last for a good several weeks and span quite a few smaller, shorter episodes. But that's nothing to worry about, because I still very much intend to post Minecraft videos, obviously, but this is something I've wanted to do for a very, very long time. So, yes, I'm also quite happy to finally do this. Now, we also need to start thinking, oh sorry, I already said that, didn't I, about who we're going to take over first. Now, I was going to say we should start by doing Uruguay, because they only have 5 provinces to take over, and quite a small army, I'd say. So, theoretically, they would be quite easy. So, I am going to start to move troops to my border with them, but it probably won't be until the next episode, unfortunately, that we can start to actually attack them, because as I said, it will take a little while for said troops to arrive. Right, everyone, so it's been a couple of minutes, I'm back. So, I am glad to tell you that I have started to move troops, as you can see from these little lines. These show where troops are headed to. I've started to move them to my border with Uruguay, but it won't be another few hours before they start to get there. But hopefully, in the second episode, we can begin our invasion. Now, sorry, that was a misclick. So, that's good, that's great. So, I've just checked the coalition, and we are now also friends with Canada. So, that also means that the coalition is officially full, because in Call of War, you can only have 3 countries per coalition. But I mean, hey, that's fine. At least we have 2 powerful countries that we can say we're friends with, which is what you want. You want to try and find powerful allies, as well as allies that you cooperate well with. That's a key part of winning the game, in my opinion. So, I'm just going to check. So I have the 3rd Infantry Regiment here, on their way to the border with Uruguay, over here, as you can probably see, where my mouse is. I've got the 12th Armoured Car Brigade also on their way there, and then I also currently have the 6th Infantry Regiment, sorry, I struggle saying 6th, they're going there, and got the 1st as well. So that means that by land we have 4 groups, or divisions or units attacking from land, and I also have my destroyer flotilla here, so my navy. This is actually the most powerful division I've got in my navy as of current. They are hopefully soon going to attack this one little submarine division here. I mean, they have 20 health. My flotilla over here has 132, so they'll easily win that. And then they will also bombard the capital once they've finished off with them. So, that's the plan. So, I'm not going to lie, it's going extremely well. So, yeah, I'm not going to lie, I'm really happy. Usually I struggle to get into coalitions when I join a game, just because they usually all fill up so quickly. But that's really good, to be honest. So, we got 2, I'd say, pretty powerful allies, I'd say. And we already have plans for our first conquests. That's very good. overall, just this is going really, really well, to be honest. Right. We'll build some level 2 barracks in Mendoza, seeing as they will help to speed up unit production. And we also, in order to keep our army supplied and powerful, we will need to roll out new units constantly, so we can, you know, compete with our enemies, and hopefully keep them at bay by having a powerful army. That's a very important part. Yeah, I'd say for the most part this is going amazingly well, to be honest. I mean, not even 10 minutes in, and already joined a coalition. In fact, I almost forgot. You see, in this game, in order to get, to increase the power of your units individually, you also need to do research. So this is where you use resources to, over the course of several hours, research and then construct new units. So you have 2 research slots at a time, meaning that you can research 2 things at a time. So I am going to be researching medium tanks, because we actually, when we've joined the game, we already automatically have done research for armoured cars and light tanks. So, I've also realised that the only planes that we have research for, under our belt already, are interceptors, and they have the shortest range out of any planes, they have the lowest amount of health, just overall, they are very, very basic and they're not very good. So we're going to fix that, as I've started to do research for strategic bombers, which are much, much better, much more powerful, so hopefully we'll also be able to start upgrading our air force, once the research for that's been completed. So yeah, that's very, very good. So far, so good, to be honest. Right, everyone, so that's just about going to wrap up the first episode of the series. I hope you all enjoyed it. So, seeing as we are currently waiting for our divisions to be in place to begin the invasion of Uruguay, until that happens, there really isn't much more we can do, but I mean, that's alright. So that's good. So hopefully, in another several hours, real life time, they'll be there, then I will be able to record episode 2, hopefully, and have that out within like a day or 2 of episode 1. And yeah, that's the basic plan. So I hope you all enjoyed the first episode of the new Call of War series, but until the next one, this is the Awesome Villager signing out, and thank you all very much for watching. Goodbye.